Sebadoh.
Hi.
Welcome back to the UK. Fleece then, first time playing at this venue this evening.
I don't know.
Oh, really? There's been that many over the years, it's just lost track now.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a place I would have played before.
It's a great place. It's one of our iconic venues.
It's been around for a while.
Yeah.
So I'd say the chances are that I played.
We came very, very close to losing this place last year because of all the apartments and things that have been built around it. It's one of the reasons the Gig Guide exists, is to try and keep live music going in the city and keep places like this going.
This is a really classic city venue.
You guys have a great sound as well down there. It's on point, so I think you'll enjoy it tonight.
It seems like a really. I feel like I've probably been here, but I cannot
it all just blurs into one.
Cannot verify it.
So Bristol, I believe, is date 3 of 7 in the UK.
Yeah.
You enjoying yourself so far?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's great to come back here.
So the important stuff, the reason you guys are back in the UK is to tour the new album, Act of Surprise, and I believe it's the first time we've had new material from you guys in 6 years. I can personally say it's worth the wait because I'm a proud owner and of a copy of the album, and it's been playing fairly heavily in my in my playlist for the last couple of weeks actually, in the run up to this. It's a big one as well. You definitely get bang for your buck. 15 songs on there. It is, guys. Hey, Jason.
Hi, sorry to bust in.
That's all right, Karen. Take a pew if you want. Or you're going for the beers.
I'm going for the beers.
Good man. 15 songs. How would you describe the sound of the album?
I don't know. I think it has kind of a live sound to it.
Yeah.
I think we kind of kept things sort of simple.
Was there a premise of trying to get 15 individual tracks that you guys were happy with, or was there meant to be a story behind the album and it links together?
No, we just kind of threw all the stuff together and let it tell its own story. Whatever, we don't sit and discuss the concept of a record. I think it just, it's a document of the time. It's a document of where I'm at, what I want to bring to the band. It's a document of what Jason wants to bring to a band, and then it's also a document of, lyrically we shape those songs ourselves, and we always, I think with Sebadoh too, there's always kind of this unwritten rule that everybody throws a song in the mix. So Bob DeNico has a song, a great song on the record called Leap Year, and I think the record kind of interesting. Like the theme that I sort of see in it is there's kind of a political theme to the record. Sort of.
Yeah, that came through in Leap Year a little bit.
Yeah, Leap Year for sure is the most explicit.
Most overtly sort of political one that's on there.
Yeah, but it definitely, there are many others on the record that have a similar.
What was the driving force in now? Why now? Why have you guys suddenly got back together after the 7th time, or is it just one of those things? It just comes together at the right time.
The timing came together. I think I had a few stipulations that I needed to meet for us to do a new record. I needed Bob and Jason to come to my area. Yeah. And record at this studio that I had sort of had experience with, working with someone that I had experience with. I kind of had the intuition that we would work really well with Justin Pizzaferrata, who recorded the record. So I'd worked with him extensively with Dinosaur Jr.
Yeah.
So then it was like a matter of I don't know, I just felt like I just sort of waited until
Until the stars aligned on this one, then basically.
Came around to the idea, and then we were able to get together. So.
And you allude to there, obviously, you've all been off doing your sort of own individual projects and things like that. Was it good getting the band back together though? Does it feel good being on stage with the guys again?
Yeah, what we do is so simple, I guess, and it's so much a part of my adult life. It's very familiar. I like familiar things.
Yeah. So
I like it when it's just, we're like I just have these. My bands are like my families.
the actual the new album, you're obviously on tour. Have you got a favourite track on the album that seems to go over well live, or that you guys enjoy playing live? Is
I
there
really
a pick
enjoy
of them?
playing all of them right now, so
Okay.
I don't know if I can differentiate.
My favourite, it's a sign of a good album for me actually, is my favourite depends on the mood that I'm in when I listen to the album, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So I'll go from sunshine to sort of vacation and back and forth all over the place, choosing. So
I feel the same about the record, I guess. I mean, I think it's a really, there's a lot to sink our teeth into.
yeah.
You know, I think the songs are a little more ambitious than the last group of songs that we did, a little bit, at least in my case. And
We've kind of alluded to as well that, you know, you guys have been doing this for a long time now. I think it's 9 studio albums, is it, in total?
yes,
And that goes, well, it's 30 years now, it goes all the way back to 1989. What are the major changes that you've kind of seen in the music industry in that period? Is there anything that sort of you look at in the last 30 years and think, wow, that's different from when we started out?
well, I mean, just the obvious things that people don't buy records anymore. But they buy them at shows,
Yeah.
and people, you know, that maybe the numbers have fluctuated pretty wildly over the years, but people still come to shows.
Is that where the money is now? That it is effectively is the live tours.
It's always been there for me.
Yeah.
So in that way, like, you know, because I mean, there's a lot of, you know, when people talk about the music industry and sort of paint these really dark, like, you know, they don't pay for music anymore, and you don't get money from selling. I'm like, I never made money from selling records,
Yeah.
ever. And like when the band, when our bands were, when my band was, or Sebadoh was at our peak, we were also spending a lot. The record label was spending a tremendous amount of money, because the more popular you become, the more they invest in it, and it's money that they never make back, and that they will extract from anything that you sell. So the periods where we sold the most amount of records we didn't sell enough. You know, you have to sell at that point when people are putting that amount of money into your band. I mean, you have to sell 500,000 records in order to see.
And you come back from it.
And we certainly never came.
Yeah,
close
it's a
to
misconception. See, there's so many people
it's
out
always
there
been the same. Like, to me, it's like it's always been the same. It's like I've always toured to support my life.
I can't even begin to calculate the amount of miles and hours spent on buses that you guys must have seen over the years. Have you got a favourite tour story?
A favourite tour?
Yeah, is there anything that's, if you're at a dinner party around your friends, they say, oh, remember that time? What's your go-to sort of story from being on tour?
They're usually things you can't really talk about. I mean, not that it's nothing lurid. It's just
I know that there was a story I've seen in an interview previously about you guys with having a hotel in Paris with the guitars.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was a good night.
Yeah. What happened there?
It was just a progression of events through 2 days in Paris. I mean, it's like, the drummer got a black eye. We tried to run out on a hotel bill.
Amazing.
And we didn't. But when we made this, we're running out on our bill.
We're being really rock and roll.
Because we have this. Our tour manager was this guy he's from Manchester, and so he's a very rough and tumble, hilarious guy. But he's real, really funny, but very edgy.
Yeah.
So we were like, we had this night out of we were just bar hopping and. There was a time. In Paris there was another time where we went out and we went to see the band Corner Shop. Shop were playing a show at a club.
It's the Brimful of Asher guys.
Yes, exactly. It was a little bit before Brimful of Asher. So they were on stage, and I was just, I was that kind of intoxicated in a way that you. Just that beautiful thing when you're 29, 30, it's like before all of the damage is caught up to you.
I remember those days.
And, you're floating from place to place, and you're talking, you're just talking shit and just.
Yeah, to anyone who will listen.
So we're watching Corner Shop, and it's pretty good, and I'm up front, and lead singer somehow is just having a fit, you know, so he's just not happy. So he sort of steps back, or he's not on the stage, and I just jumped on stage and just started singing. I mean, I don't know. So I did that, and I actually did that. I did that same thing at a Mazzy Star show. Like we were playing a big theater show with Mazzy Star, and she, you know, walked off the stage. What's her name? Is it Hope or? She walked off the stage. I mean, her backing band at this point was like one member of, like, I think James or one of the Reed brothers. I can't remember. Was part of the band, and so. Hope, whatever her name is, walked off the stage, and I ran out and just started singing with them. I mean, I was like, why? It's like...
What, their material or just random?
Oh, they're just jamming. No, I just started like improvising, like singing about, you know, wondering why she left. I'm just like, and thinking back on it now, I'm like, oh, that's pretty bold.
None of that these days, then, though?
No, I mean, and then there's, you know, I remember we did maybe it was the same Reading, where I think the Lemonheads were playing the main stage at Reading, and I don't know, myself and then someone else, like we just, I don't know why, we just went running on stage and tackled Evan, like during the performance, like we just tackled Evan. Like, okay, I don't.
So it's kind of a habit then. There's been a few of these instances.
I have to, I mean, I think that kind of storming the stage, doing totally nonsensical things, there's several.
The good times, the good time incidents.
There's definitely some instances of that back in the day, and I guess. But yeah, as far as like the best stories or whatever, it just like it's happening now. It's just if I start thinking about it, it triggers.
It
triggers things like, I haven't thought about that in a while, but
it's a life well spent. You got those stories saved up. It's a life well spent to tell the grandkids and everything.
You know, I was able to do those kind of things and have a really good time, but you know, never quite. I've been able to kind of readjust.
To 1989, but retain your knowledge from the present day. Is there anything that you would do differently in your career?
I would just play more.
Yeah, more live gigs, even more than you've already done.
No, I would just play more during the day. I would just really. What would I do? I would just want to take my self-confidence that I've gained over the years. I'd love to take it back to that point.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the thing that really made things difficult for me, and then what I think probably made my career, for lack of a better word, more difficult was my lack of self-confidence. And that's something that's like really, it's responsible for the bad decisions that I've made, the fear, I guess.
I think a lot of people will agree with that. I'm certainly the same. As I'm 42 now, but going into my 30s, you just get that air of, well, I like me, and I'm happy with what I'm doing, and if you don't like it, then whatever. And
it took me a little longer than my 30s.
I'd happily take, same as you, I'd happily take that back.
I wish I just could take that confidence back, because I think the confidence that I have now, because I just don't take. I mean, I think, for instance, when you're a young band, and back then, of course, it was all about the enemy and the melody maker, and this very moment to moment focus, that the English press brought into music, and the sense of urgency that it brought to every moment was incredibly intimidating.
Yeah.
When you would come here, and then it was all about the reviews coming in, and that week from your shows, and there was a tremendous amount of anxiety. Like, from the record label people, and it was just a
I suppose
really.
it was the only outlet though, wasn't it, for people to
it was-
like get a view on your band?
It was really exciting,
Yeah.
and because every new band was the best band that's ever been around.
That's
Everything
right.
was new. Everything
Yeah.
was just the urgency and the kind of the sense of like this, how everything was just imbued with this like epic importance. When in reality, it's just another day.
Yeah,
You're just
yeah.
another band, and I do wish I was very affected by that. It made me really nervous and very depressed and very. So I kind of wish I just.
I suppose it's a microcosm of what the kids of today are seeing with the social media comments. If they're posting their new music or their new videos and stuff, and they're straight away looking how many likes has that got? What are people saying? What are the comments?
Yeah.
So
I
it's
guess
just even more exacerbated than what it was back in the day.
It was, but then it was like it was really focused on like this greater thing. Like you're talking about things that were like at the newsstands and the.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was.
Well, it could be make or break, I suppose, for you. If
It
you
was.
if
It
you
felt very make or break, and I guess everything was imbued with that idea of make or break. And then it's funny because I think of all of the mistakes that I have made, which are just so many mistakes, so many poor choices, so many. But then somehow, we're here tonight, and I'm in Fleece, and I'm looking at the gig listings, and I'm like, wow, it's like I'm still around, the Exploited are still around. I'm like, wow. Somehow, some way,
it's crazy
all of these things, and it's almost similar to what it used to be. It was like, there's cover bands, and then the bands that just haven't gone away. Like,
the more things
Sebadoh
change, the more they stay the same.
And the fact that we could somehow be just another one of these hangers, we're just hanging on. It's kind of, and I do get a peace of mind out of that, but I do think like despite all of the difficulties early on and all of the, like I said, just regrets that I have. It's somehow I'm
but you, I suppose it's one of those things where those decisions, good or bad, are the whole reason you are where you are today. It kind of, whether that's fate or whatever you want to call it, those decisions lead to this point in time for you guys.
It just blows me away that I can still come here.
And in terms of Bristol tonight, where's next? Where's the rest of the tour taking you?
North.
North, yeah.
I'm not sure.
Looking at the listings, that's a good description.
Sure it's Birmingham or Glasgow.
Yeah, I think for the benefit of the tape, you guys are Birmingham tomorrow.
Okay.
And you are progressively getting further north. Then it's Leeds, up to Scotland and Glasgow, and then I think the last date is in Manchester. And are you staying in Europe then, or are you going back home to the States for a bit?
We go back to Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have one show in France and Paris, and then another night.
More stories from Paris then in that case. We'll catch up the next time you come over to see if there's any more stories.
Paris is good for stories.
Right, I'm going to let you guys get ready. Really looking forward to the show. Thank you very much for your time, sir. It's been a pleasure.
Cool.
Nice to finally speak to you and meet you.
Cool.
And hopefully we'll see more of you guys in your return to Bristol in the near future.
I hope so.
Cheers. Thank you, Lee.
You're welcome. Thanks.